the mood kind of been like since getting back from Virginia? Have you seen the energy that you wanted? And
We didn't practice yesterday,
okay,
so I haven't seen the whole team. But I saw a few of the guys yesterday. They came in, they were hanging around. Some came in and shot on their own. But I expect the spirits will be very good. I mean, we lost to a very fine Virginia team, and had we made our free throws like we normally do, it could have been a very different outcome.
how frustrating is it when it's something like that can make a difference, and you know that those guys can make those shots?
Well, we've been shooting great free throws all season long. We expected and really wanted to get to the foul line 20 times, or make 20 free throws, and instead we gave up that many. And that was disappointing. We had a chance still with when the score was 59-56, and we had a wide open three, and that could have easily gone and changed the outcome of the game. But it always comes down to a lot of little things. Before the game, I told the team, I think this team executes very well, Virginia. After every timeout, they're going to come out with a set play, and we need to be able to try to stop it. And we weren't able to do that often enough either. But we need to shoot the ball better, both from the free throw line and from three-point range.
Hey Jim, obviously Clemson has been winning, I think 4 in a row. They just beat a couple of ranked teams, you know. I guess talk about them. I think they have one major score, and then there's like 4 guys are between 8.
No, they've got great balance.
Yeah.
Blossingame is a all ACC caliber player. Grantham, very, very good forward. Noko is playing really, really well in the low post, doing some scoring, and really is ferocious rebounder. And the guards, Roper is really, really good. They're a very, very talented team.
What did you glean from watching? I assume you've seen the film of at least the Duke game. You know, what did you glean from what they do well, or what they're doing better than? You know, they lost a couple of games earlier that they didn't play as well, look like this, as they have been now.
Well, the main categories is free throws. They've been getting to the foul line in league play twice as many times as their opponent. So they have found a way to play inside out, where they're getting some really good interior baskets, getting to the foul line, and their guards are really shooting the ball well.
Speaking of shooting well, Angel, I guess, is again not hitting a great percentage. Do you sort of tell him just keep shooting, or do you sort of, you know, want him to be more of a distributor? You know, how do you sort of look at it at this point of the season with him?
Well, no, Angel's just got to be Angel. I mean, he's got to play his game. I thought the other day he had 17 points. He missed a couple of open shots, but so did everybody. My concern right now more is the volume of threes we're taking, settling for three-point shots. They're not bad shots, but when you're not shooting a great percentage from three, then go inside the arc and make some twos. So against Syracuse, we were 3 for 25. 25 is too many, even against the zone team. We really need to be around 17 or 18 three-point attempts. And against Florida State, I think we were like 6 for 24. And against Virginia, we were 6 for 22 in a lower possession game. So the percentage of our shots coming from behind the arc as compared to inside the arc is a little bit too many. And I think if we become a little bit more selective, turn down some of those, drive it and get to the rim, maybe we'll get to the foul line more, which is really what we need to do.
Coach, have you been able to, it may sound simplistic, but put your finger on in the first 3 ACC games, the first half, you're averaging about 24 points, and you come out in the second half about 41, just about the differential there.
I think that's actually very typical. That's not an anomaly. That if you look at us year in and year out, in fact, if you look at most teams, the scoring in the second half is a good portion better than it is in the first half. I think it's kind of like a heavyweight prize fight. You come out and you feel each other out, kind of figuring things out. Teams are changing defenses or the different offenses they run. And in the second half, the players kind of just turn it on and play. And I think that's been true of us and basically true of the people we play against.
Jim, I wanted to ask you, I know we talked a little bit about him last week, but Yvonne, the work that he did this summer in the off season to change his body, how much do you think it's just, from your perspective, how much is it paying off now in his game?
Oh, I think Yvonne's improvement, because of his improved body, his strength, his conditioning, his speed, his quickness, has allowed him to become a very solid defender. Now, he's not the fastest guy on the team, he doesn't jump the highest, but his fundamentals on defense, both on his man and in the team defensive concepts, are very, very good now. Last year, he really struggled at the defensive end.
Oh, you know, for him to do that, was that something you guys had the discussion with him, or did he approach, you know, you or the training staff and say, I feel like I need to do this? Because that can be a delicate conversation to have with a player.
Yeah, I've never had that conversation with him. It's always been our strength and conditioning coach. He's our expert. So when a student athlete on our team meets with Steve Feldy, our strength and conditioning coach, he sits down and maps out, what are your goals? Where would you like to be? This is where you are now. And when he measured Yvonne's body fat, it was 24%. And he told him, look, that's really not a Division I athlete. You want to be maybe between 7% and 13%. And so Yvonne went about learning how to eat properly, the nutrition, the hydration, and the work he needed to put in the weight room to get stronger and convert what was one-time fat into now sculptured muscle.
What about the process of recruiting him? You know, obviously coming from Spain, and you look at Katie's been able to bring 2 girls over from the Netherlands. When you all go overseas, you know, how much do these kids know about Miami basketball, or, you know, the opportunity to
we
play
didn't see Yvonne in Spain.
Okay.
He was in junior college outside of Philadelphia.
That's right.
And the assistant coach at the school contacted me and said, hey, we have a 6'10" kid here who you might be interested in. So we flew up and watched him work out and decided he was somebody we'd be very interested in. So we followed him, invited him for a visit, and he visited 1 or 2 other schools. I believe he visited Iowa State or Iowa. One of the Iowa schools, and then Miami, but he really wanted Miami. He wanted the ACC, he wanted to be South. He liked the climate, and the assistant coach who was working with him was very encouraging to him that he'd be really well taken care of here.
Okay, so it was never anything that you guys had watched him before, earlier?